Hi. In this tutorial, we're going to use the ATP, or Automatic Toolpath functions in ToolShop. Note that to use the functions in this tutorial, you will need the full ATP version of ToolShop. The limited demo version has all of the functions enabled, so you could try them out. I have a selection of DXF files that belong to some kitchen cabinets. They will be cut out of 16 millimeters or 3/4 inch white melamine board, and we will use router bits and drills to cut the parts on a CNC router. However, ATP will work just as well for plasma, water jet, and laser cutters as well. First of all, I'm going to select the 16 millimeters thick melamine sheet before I start the job. Remember, I can change the current sheet by clicking on the Select Material button next to the current material. ToolShop will assume that the whole job used this material. Next, let's open the files. We have a folder that includes all of the files I want to cut. If we select the DXF file filter, we can simply click the first file and holding down the Shift key, click on the last file, and they will all be selected. All of these files will be imported into the job. If we want to cut more than one of a part, it is simply a matter of changing the quantity on the left. Notice that all of the parts are assigned to the melamine sheets. We could reassign the material of any parts right here, and it will add that material to the job as well. For now, we'll select the reposition checkbox here. This simply stacks all of the imported parts vertically. Otherwise, they would all open on top of each other, and it would be impossible to differentiate between them. Let's have a look. ToolShop will automatically zoom to the extents of a job so we can see everything. You can also zoom to the extents of a job using the F2 key. Here, I am zooming and using the scroll wheel to examine one of the parts. Notice that the part has several features. Here we have a part number. If I select it, I can see that it is on a layer named Text. This could be just for identification on the screen, but we could engrave it or even print it directly onto the part if we have an ART CNC router fitted with an inkjet printer. Over here we have some drill holes. If I select one of them, I can see they're on a layer named Screws. We can also see the diameter on the status bar at the bottom. It shows that it is 5 millimeters in diameter, or around 0.2 inch. These holes will need to go all the way through the material. We can see there are other holes for adjustable shelf supports. I'm going to select one of them. Notice that these holes have been drawn on a layer named Shelf. They're also 5 millimeters diameter, but we only want them to be around 10 millimeters or around 3/8 inch deep. We also have some 5 millimeters holes on a layer named Hinge Plate. These will also need to be 10 mm deep. Then, of course, we have the external border of the part. We'll cut that with the 1/2 inch cutter so we can get some speed. If we're doing production runs of customized parts, it is usual to use the same cutting processes over and over. That's why ToolShop allows you to assign the tool path templates that we learned about previously to each layer in the job. Let's go back and open the same parts again. This time, we will select the ATP checkbox to enable the ATP functions. We'll go through the options one at a time so you can understand the process. The first option is the Tool Path checkbox. Selecting this box allows ToolShop to automatically apply various toolpath templates to shapes according to their layers. How does ToolShop know which templates to apply? Notice the Layers button up here. Clicking on it brings up the ATP Layer Manager. This is a library of associated layers, material types and thickness, and toolpath templates. We can assign any existing toolpath template to each layer. ToolShop will remember this setting permanently, unless we change it. I'm going to choose appropriate templates for each layer. Now that we have all the layers set up, we can also set a few other options here. We would normally leave all the layers set to visible so we can see them. We don't want to lock any of the layers. This would anchor any parts with that layer and prevent them from being nested. We normally want to import all the layers. This can be useful if you have other layers that are not applicable to the cutting. Next is the Layer Combine checkbox. This is the same combine function that we learned about earlier. Checking this box will combine any parent and children shapes that are on the same layer. causing the cutter to cut inside the internal shapes and outside of the external shapes. Lastly, we can instruct ToolShop to invert certain layers. This should technically be used to force the holes to turn red, denoting that they are internal shapes. They will not usually turn red when the combine is done, because they are not surrounded by any parent shape. The combine function only works within shapes on the same layer. Fortunately, ToolShop does not care whether holes are external or internal shapes for drilling purposes. It will always put the drill hole in the center of the drawn circle regardless of it being red or blue. So I'm just going to leave the invert shapes checkbox off. Okay, so let's click OK and go back to the ATP options. The next option is the Smart Group checkbox. This should normally be turned on. The Smart Group function will group all of the shape that belong to a part together. If we don't have this function turned on, then the holes and text on different layers will be nested independently to the main part. The Smart Group locks them all together. Then we have the Nest option. Turning this on will apply the automatic nesting to all the imported parts. The settings are selected by choosing one of the nesting templates. Remember, we created one of these in a previous tutorial. We can create new settings by clicking on the Nesting Templates button here. It will open the current template and allow us to make alterations and save it as the same name or a new name if desired. I'm going to change the direction of the external lead-ins to the bottom left corner of the shapes and save it back to the same name. Next, we have the Cut Order option. This allows us to choose from one of the standard options, such as rows or columns. Let's choose columns. We can also set the general direction we want to process the sheet here. I'll choose this option. The final option here is the Output in C file. I'll leave this off for now, but it basically creates the job and outputs the G-code files to the CNC machine without any interaction. In this case, I want to see the results before creating the CNC files. Let's click OK and see what we get. Here we can see that ToolShop has created 3 sheets. The last sheet here only has a few parts. Let's go to the first sheet and see the results. If we zoom in, we can see that the holes all have drill holes. Some are all the way through, some are only 10 millimeters deep. And we can see that external border has 2 passes because that's what we set in the template. If we go to the Cut Order Tweak button, we can step through the cut order to see if it is doing the cutting in a logical order. That all looks pretty good to me. All we have to do now is output the cut files to the CNC machine. Let's do that job again from the start using all of the settings we have saved. First, we make sure the material is correct. Next, let's open all the files and click OK. That's it. Job done. This is just a quick look into the automatic processes that ToolShop has to offer. We'll continue to explore some more of the high-end features in future tutorials.